Yeah, hello guys. The last time around I did one of these, not including the keyboard showdown, was when again? Anyway, the first ever Taobao keyboard I did was a $50 budget custom keyboard. But today, I'll be showing you how I built a $40 budget custom keyboard. I forgot to mention one thing, and that is today's sponsor, CableMod. CableMod has newly released custom keyboard cables. You can customize your own keyboard cable to your own liking, from directions of the cables, size of the coil to the general length of the cable. Customize any part of your cables with your color of your choice. They have custom developed aluminum shell USB connectors that are available in all kinds of color combos. Nicely shaped and firm coil produced with the so-called reverse coil for a higher durability. They told me to show off the cables, so I'm gonna show off the cables. So if you guys are interested, I'll be leaving the links in the description down below, and you can use code Louis for 10% off your order. So let's hop into my favorite website, Taobao. So I searched around, saw the TM680, saw the CX60, saw the MW65, and I came across this. A CIY Tester 68, which costs 79 yuan, which then converts to 12.38 USD. I'm gonna use that. We're gonna find out why does it cost 12 USD later on. So I added that to my cart. Next up, I'm gonna look for my switches. As for switches, the go-to budget switch will be Echo switches because you get 90 switches for 90 yuan. But I wanted to go a little lower than that. So I looked around, searched about JWK switches, and I found this JWK CV2 Blacks, which costs 81 yuan. 81 yuan is actually technically about $12.79 US, and for keycaps, I couldn't go with clones because clones technically cost a little more. So I went with a more graphical kind of design of keycap. And a lot of us love Coral C keycaps, so I decided to just go with that. I found a full kit of Coral C keycap. It costs about 84 yuan, which converts to about $13.60 US dollars. So before we start our build, this is all the parts I got. The CIY Tester 68, which cost about $12.38. The switches, the JWK C Black V2 switches, which cost about $12.69. And lastly, for the Coral C keycaps, they were about $13.16, which brings my total to $38 and something cents. So here we have it, the CIV or CIY Tester 68. Let's unbox it and see what's included. Of course, you have your manual that says GK68 for some reason, and we move on to our keyboard. Aside from that, there was literally nothing else in the box, no keycap or switch puller. So let's take a closer look at this keyboard. It is a 65% keyboard kit, comes with stabilizers and PCB and plate, which is everything you need to build a keyboard. One thing I noticed is at the back, there is no USB-C connection, so you do have to install two AAA batteries and use the USB dongle to use the keyboard. Technically, once you install your batteries, you can install switches and keycaps and start using your keyboard, but here we're gonna disassemble and mod this boy. So the keyboard is held together by 7 screws at the top, so we're gonna remove those screws and take off our plate. After disassembling the case, I was surprised to be greeted by a plate silicone dampener. For something of this price, I really expected just the essentials, and the silicone dampener itself is actually pretty thick and good in quality, so that's a really huge surprise for me. Moving on, I removed the 2 screws holding the PCB to the case to see if I can full mod this case because it is made of plastic. But I did find that there was actually case foam as well. For now, let's talk about the PCB. It has north-facing switches and is hot swappable but does not have gamer RGB, so do take note of that when you are buying this keyboard kit. The foam is fairly thin but it is still foam, so I decided to just give this keyboard kit a try without adding any other mods of my own, but if I did, I would probably do a tape mod. The keyboard kit uses plate-mounted stabilizers, and as usual, we do have to loop our stabilizers to make a keyboard sound good, so I removed the stabilizers and looped them with Krytox 205 Grade 0. The stabilizers were surprisingly decent. You do not have to clip them, they are pre-clipped, and I did not do any holy mod as well. Now that we're done with stabilizers, we can install our dampener and plate so that we can start working on our switches. The JWKC Black V2 switches that were surprisingly actually pre-looped, but I did loop them myself. They are linear switch, have 5 pins, have a 42 gram actuation and a 58.5 grams bottom out. I looped them with Krytox 205 grade 0 and installed them to our keyboard. I forgot to mention, but the PCB actually can hold 5 pin switches, which is pretty good for the price range. Now that we're done with switches, we can move on to our keycaps. The packaging was a little bit wonky, but these are the Coral C keycaps. This is a full keycap kit. It can fit all keyboard sizes, so you do not have to worry about short shift, long shift or whatever. Everything I needed was provided in this keycap set. Alright, we've come to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The only downside I see to that keyboard is that you can't use wired connection. You got to use the 2.4 GHz receiver, and that's pretty sad. But aside from that, providing silicone dampener plate foam and case foam at the bottom is kind of insane for the price we're talking about. So if you do get this keyboard, do take note of those features, and yeah, get AAA batteries. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like. If you like the budget series, you can subscribe because I love doing these. If you want to support the channel a little bit more, you can go ahead and click the join button, which means you join my channel membership and you get these badges and emotes. Aside from that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!